Hey everyone, welcome back to Under the Lights. Today I am joined again with my co-host Jackson Weber,
Hey, how you doing?
and today we are going to discuss a few different topics today. We're going to discuss picks of the week. We're going to run through some college football playoffs, some regular season for NFL, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Brittany Griner. So, before we jump in, I will say for the World Cup, that is kind of what we're going on, picks of the week. Everything is, there's been some upsets. There's been some good, some bad. I'm not going to lie. It's been a lot of fun so far to be in. It's definitely weird how it's over winter. Obviously there's reasons for that. Money was involved. And the fact that
Qatar is deadly
it
hot
is deadly hot. It's like 130
in the summer.
in the summer.
And it's only like 90 or something right now.
Yeah,
Like it's
and
still
it's winter.
yeah.
But we're going to talk about a little bit of, these next few games, which are actually
There's one going on right now at the time of recording.
Time of
Croatia
recording.
and Brazil.
it is Croatia and Brazil. Then we will also have Morocco and Portugal, Netherlands and Argentina, and England, France. So out of those four groupings, who do you think moves on in each game?
So I think we're gonna see. I think it's gonna be Brazil.
Yeah, I think
by
they're the
about
strong
2
favorites
goals.
right now.
I think by about 2 goals.
Okay.
Next game is Netherlands and Argentina. I think that's gonna go to penalties.
I think that's
I think
probably the
let's go to
closest
penalties.
matchup.
Yeah, it's either gonna be 0-0 or 1-1. And then
I don't disagree.
Morocco, Portugal, I think will be 1-0, and you could throw a dart at a moving target, and throw a dart and hit a target, and that's who's gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just a toss up. I
Yeah.
feel like for me. And then England, France.
That's got to be my game of the week.
I think it's gonna be 2-1 France.
I think France takes the victory, but it's slim. I think it's really competitive. I think it's
gonna
really
be either a last-second goal, or maybe a bit of an iffy goal that just pushes them over the edge.
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be close. I think whoever comes out of this game will make it to the finals, make it well past, and could even win between this England and France team. And I think, Brazil are the heavy favorites.
Yeah.
They have...
Especially in their performance in the group stage and
Yeah.
the past couple matches.
Yeah, and then I think, going back to the whole, throwing a dart, Morocco and Portugal, I think that's going to be such a close game, especially with this Argentina-Netherlands game. I think those two are going to be so close that it's like, I feel like Portugal has the stronger side, especially with stars in the soccer world. But I think Morocco has just been playing out of their minds. They played really well against Spain. They played really well in the group stage. Like, I would not be surprised if they took down Portugal. And then with Netherlands and Argentina, I think, Argentina, obviously with Messi and all of their star power, I think they're the favorites to go through. But I think Netherlands are the sneaky link that's going to definitely cause and stir up trouble. But I think throughout this whole round of 16 and even the group stages, there's been a lot of upsets. Belgium not even making it through.
Mexico not making it through.
Japan sneaking through and then lost down some of the worst penalty kicks I've ever seen in my entire life. And, you got a bunch of really good games out of it.
Yeah.
Like Morocco, Spain, such a good game. Argentina, Australia, pretty good game. Netherlands, US, heartbreaking, but it was a good game. Serbia, Switzerland, phenomenal game. There's just so many games this World Cup that a lot of underdogs, especially, thinking about the star power that each of these countries have. I've been enjoying it a lot, and I can't wait to see the continuation of this World Cup. Especially, there's been a lot of controversies throughout this, but I think as a whole, it's been a pretty good World Cup. It's definitely been weird with it being near the holidays and it ending the finals on the 17th.
18th.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
Interesting. But still, so close to Christmas, this will be, I'm sure, the first time that it's even near Christmas. And I'm sure, it'll be different for everyone in this light of time. But now we're going to move on to a little bit of the college realm. with college playoffs coming up, we got
So the top,
top four.
is from 1 to 4 is Georgia, Michigan, TCU, and Ohio State. So the playoff, we're going to see Georgia and Ohio State,
mm-hmm.
and then Michigan and TCU play each other.
That's going to be a fun one. I know Michigan, if TCU can jump off right away, Michigan is a second-half team.
Yeah.
That's been proven. If TCU gets a big enough lead, I think they can hold them off. I'm not too sure. Their only, loss was to, a really well-ranked team,
Mm.
and it was in, double overtime. So I think they definitely should have made it over a team like Alabama, who are, always good, but they just did not perform this year. And then I'm kind of surprised they didn't put Ohio State and Michigan as the 2-3 so that they could play, because that would just be a huge game, but they did recently play.
It is weird because Ohio State lost to Michigan when Ohio State was 2 and Michigan was 3, and TCU lost Kansas State, and they were, I think, ranked 10th or something.
Yeah.
And TCU's still ahead of Ohio State. I do think they maybe didn't want to have that again happen in the college football
So
playoffs.
close, yeah.
But I think that Ohio State should have maybe leapfrogged TCU and just pushed TCU down to 4.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting, but, when you look at, the beginning of how this season was started, Alabama, Tennessee, Clemson were all up there. Utah snuck into 8. Kansas State is 8 too.
Yep.
It's been a pretty good year so far, I'm not going to lie. Obviously, with, college football playoffs, it does make more of those title games, bowl games. Like Michigan played Purdue. That's not a fun game really to watch. You know the outcome of that game.
Yeah.
All these big time players, like whenever Clemson and your boys, Chapel Hill played
In the ACC championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you went to that game. Can you tell me a little bit about that experience?
That was fun. It wasn't fun with the game, but I liked being there. It was close for about 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
UNC held Clemson. They drove down and scored. I think Clemson got a field goal in the next drive, but then Clemson had 2 stops on Chapel Hill's offense, and it was game over.
Yeah.
UNC could never recover. Clemson kept driving down and scoring, and they would do it so fast too. There were a few iffy calls on both sides, but I think UNC got hurt early and just could never get back up.
Yeah. And I was keeping up, and I kept tabs with you while you were at the game, and I kept looking, and I was like, oh, this is not fun for
It was rough. It was rough being a Chapel Hill
Hill.
fan.
But now we're going to move on to a little bit about the NFL. We already had one game of the week when this recorded, which was the Raiders and the Rams. Rams with the big comeback victory.
Very big.
Very surprising. Finish 17-16.
It was
There's not
13-3 going into half.
Yeah, and that was a big game too, especially with, I believe Baker was playing.
Yeah, Baker was traded to the Rams on Tuesday of this past week, and it got to Los Angeles. I think obviously was able to practice at least once or twice with the team, and then leads a game-winning two fourth quarter drives, and just takes his first victory as a starting quarterback in Los Angeles. I think it speaks to Baker you can tell he's still good. And it also shows just how bad the Panthers were, both coaching-wise and just talent-wise, besides him. Because
obviously he made mistakes.
Obviously. But the Rams they didn't even have Cooper Kupp playing with them last night. And they were still able to pull out this just unbelievable win. So I think it shows a lot of people misjudged Baker Mayfield and what his talent really was.
Yeah, I'm still looking forward to seeing him lose. I'm not a big Baker fan.
Yeah.
Especially with him
coming from the Browns to the Panthers.
Yes.
And you being a Steelers fan.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we also have some other good games coming up in the week. Some in-state rivalries, some big-time rivalries. Ravens, Steelers. That's going to be a fun one.
Vikings, Lions.
Vikings,
Vikings are
Lions.
actually not favored to win this game, even with a much better. The Vikings are 10-2, and the Lions are 5-7.
I mean, those Lions be sneaky, though. They'd be real sneaky. And then you got Browns, Bengals. That'll be a good one. Jets, Bills. That'll be fun.
I kind of want to see the Jets beat the Bills again.
I kind of want to see them beat them again.
I want to see Josh Allen get taken down another peg.
I still think he makes a deep run in the playoffs, just because the team has a maturity that
I think
most teams don't. Like
I think
this
it
Jets
depends
team.
on the seedings too, because if he gets an easy matchup, yeah, he'll make it to the divisional. But if he gets matched up, I don't know the standings at this point in time. If he gets matched up with a team that can give him trouble, I think he can lose in the wild card.
Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. And then you got some stinker games: Jags, Titans, Panthers, Seahawks, Patriots, Cardinals. I don't even know if I'm gonna watch half these games just because the matchups this week.
I just hope Red Zone cycles through those worst games.
I hope so too. I hope so too. One other one that I do find interesting: Giants and Eagles. I hope the Giants can somehow muster up a win. They haven't been doing too bad this year, with everything all considered. But still, it's the Eagles. This year they've been playing out of their mind. And it's been impressive. I hate it because I'm from Pennsylvania, and obviously being a Steelers fan, it's not fun. It's not fun
You'd
at
like
all.
to see your side of the state be that good of a team.
We once were, Near 2010, we were able to muster up a great victory over the Cardinals, one of the greatest catches of all time. And it was just, that time for Pittsburgh sports too. Penguins and Steelers won basically in the same year.
Yep.
And then later on, Penguins went back-to-back. So, Pittsburgh does have...
They've had their moments.
And I'm proud of that, but this will probably be one of the first losing seasons Mike Tomlin has.
It'll be the first losing season.
I know. And it's, it's sad, but, that just speaks to the volume of how great of a coach he is. To muster it up, and think about a few years ago, Big Ben injury. You have Mason Rudolph come in, and you still get a winning record. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Obviously, this year with
that was
Kenny,
a whole different team as well.
It was. With Kenny now, I do see a good future with Kenny. He has had his mistakes, but I think there's room for improvement, and I think that goes with a lot of the teams this year, as you can tell, with Jets playing pretty good, Giants playing pretty good, Broncos suck, LOL. Buccaneers are going down. Who knows what's going on in the 49ers right now? They have their fifth string quarterback in.
Well, they're running Mr. Irrelevant right now. Brock Purdy, he's the last pick in the 2022 NFL draft.
Crazy.
And he just won his first starting game.
That is crazy. Yeah, big stuff. Big stuff in the world of NFL. But now we're going to have a word from our sponsors. So, Jack, what comes to mind when you think of candy?
I got to say delicious, maybe sweet, some good memories watching movies in theater.
Well, Jackson, I have an amazing spot for you. Candy King is a premier candy location with all of the essentials. They have all the name brands such as the Hershey's, the Mount Rushmore of the candy bars, and they also have Feastables, which is from Mr. Beast himself. Candy King is running a promotional deal for the holidays that are coming up real quick.
Yeah, they are.
And they want to give you 10% off on your online order. But you know what? We can do better for you kings. We're going to make it 20%. Yes, I said 20% if you use the code LIGHTS at checkout. You will never go without cravings again if you shop at Candy King. And don't forget to use those promo codes LIGHTS for 20% on your next order. Now back to this pod. We're going to jump into another little controversial topic that has been in the sports realm recently with Brittany Griner. There's been a lot of stuff going on. Obviously, she's been in Russia for
a couple months.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, December 8th, it was announced that She is going to be freed and returned to the United States as the United States sends over a Russian prisoner we have, a arms dealer, who I don't know the name of.
Viktor Butot or
There you
something
go.
like that.
We're going to be sending him back to Russia in exchange for Brittany Griner.
It is something that I find really crazy because he is known to be one of the deadliest and a huge arms dealer who's probably helped
Kill
murder
millions.
and kill thousands of people.
He's nicknamed the Merchant of Death.
And we are getting Brittany Griner, and they are getting the Merchant of Death.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what's going to happen when he goes back to Russia. I don't know if he's going to be freed, put in prison, killed. I'm not sure. But we have other Americans over
Namely
there.
a Marine who's been over there for 4 years in a Russian prison.
And we trade for Brittany Griner.
Yep.
Someone who has fought for our country.
Who stands for what it believes in.
And from what I keep hearing, Brittany doesn't even like the U.S.
She doesn't. Yeah,
She doesn't like the U.S. She's probably going to go back anyway.
Yep.
She's going to go back, make sure her bags are clear, so she doesn't go.
You better hope.
Yeah, you better hope. And then she's probably just going to, go back because
If I'm the Russian TSA equivalent, I'm checking that bag like 8 times.
we're running that thing through the X-ray machine at least 10 times.
Yep.
Just so that, she's not sneaking anything in.
That bag is
Um,
going to like be radiating X-ray energy
Yes.
when I'm done with it.
And I think, I don't know, obviously, all the criteria. I don't think most of us know all the criteria that went in for this trade deal. But all the memes that have come out of it has been pretty funny.
I mean, we are happy to see American Brittany Griner come back to the U.S. so she
Yes.
is not in a Russian prison anymore, a work prison.
But still,
It
it's-
wasn't the best way to get her back. I feel like
no.
I think the President Biden should have tried to do more to hopefully get the Marine back as well with the same trade, or just make it not seem like we got screwed with this trade.
Which, if you're looking at it from any angle as of now, it looks like we got screwed.
Yeah.
Because we traded for a basketball star for the WNBA for a Merchant of Death. There's a lot that can be said with, going on in the world right now. But this is definitely not one of the highlights.
No.
Not at all. But that is going to be wrapping up our podcast for today. This is Under the Lights with your host, Sam Orsino, and your co-host, Jackson Weber. You can find us on Podbean and YouTube at Under the Lights. And you can also check out Jackson's podcast, The Garbage Reel, on Apple Podcast and YouTube. So make sure to check those out. This will be the last podcast for a little bit. So make sure to check out all the recent episodes, and we will see you guys next season.
See you guys.